Hello, everyone. Welcome to our lesson learned for today. I'm so excited to be here with two of my PMP gurus, with Mary, who got certified way back and introduced me to her friend Fome, who is now a PMP and got certified. When did you get certified, Fome?
November 21st.
Wow, not even that long ago. Why does it seem like it's almost a month or more ago? It's not that long. Wow, wow. Well, this has been a long time coming, and we've been meaning to get together to do our lesson learned, and now we get to do it. So tell me, how do you genuinely feel being a PMP?
This is how I feel. It's a breath of fresh air. I'm so happy. That's just how I can describe it. In short, it took me like 2 or 3 days to really realize that I'm PMP now. I woke up the next day and picked up my laptop, and then I was like, because I wanted to study. But
Oh,
yes,
wow.
I'm very happy. I did it with your help. I'm very grateful for that. Yeah, I'm happy.
Wow, wow. I'm excited. Mary, how do you feel for your friend?
Yeah, I mean I'm very proud of her, because um the work that she put in and the fact that she was able to get this done within, a very short period of time. And she listened to advice, do this, do that. And yeah, and of course when I told her this was what I did, I got help from Mr. Phil Akiwade. I told her, you should also follow this path, and I guarantee you that you would make it. She adhered to the advice, and I'm really proud of her because she also did the PSM.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
Double whammy.
so I mean, I'm very proud. I'm very proud of her.
Absolutely, absolutely.
Thank you.
You're
Yeah.
you're a good mentor, Mary, for encouraging her and showing her the way. Absolutely. So, Foma, let's talk about why did you want to do PMP? So Mary came with her proposition about PMP. Did it immediately spark a fire, or did you say, I don't know. What were your thoughts when you heard about PMP first?
I would say that it sparked a fire, but I was a little bit reluctant in the beginning. And then I did some research. She told me about you, and she told me that I can trust you and that you're a very good teacher. And yeah, I was like, okay, let me see what it's like. And yes, when I joined the first class, I was like, wow, wow, wow. I knew that I was going to make it. I was 100% sure.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
That is awesome. Yeah. So how did you find the course? Because yesterday night I was talking to one of your classmates who is out of the three who came for that set. It was you, Yvonne, and Mark. And Mark Mark was saying he's gearing up for his big day and he spoke about you. So how was your experience through the course? I got my own idea of how you might have felt at some points in the course, but I want you to tell us for yourself. How did you feel going through the program?
I would say that it was quite difficult for me in the beginning. So many of the terminologies was quite new, but I did a lot of self-studies and your videos were very helpful. I would say that was what helped me the most. So reading the PMP guide was a bit difficult. And then when I watched it, yes, oh my God, like.
Did you complain? It seems like you might have complained to Mary a number of times about it.
I complained a million times, like. I always ask her that, did you really read this book?
What did she say?
Well, she said a bit of it. She read a bit of it. Yeah.
Oh dear. Because I knew there were times when it was like going through quicksand for you. I knew that it was hard. I'm like, oh, I know that it's hard for her, but we have to just keep going. And then I would encourage you to ask as many questions as you like. And I would say, are you sure? Do because I knew it was a struggle and new terminology, and same for Yvonne, and Yvonne's face, her countenance is quite expressive. So when she's stuck, I know she's stuck, and I would pause and say, and I probably gave her more grief by asking her questions than I did you, because I know that it was tough, especially. So how you studied for the exam, I know you did the PSM, and what motivated you to do the PSM before finally doing the PMP?
I thought because we had learned Agile, and so I thought, okay, it was easy to understand Agile quickly, and then Yvonne had spoken about it. So I thought, okay, now that we have this Agile knowledge, and PMP seems like a very big thing for us. So we're like, okay, let's deal with Agile. Let's deal with PSM now, and then we can feel a little bit better and know that, okay, PMP will not be so difficult to tackle at the end. So yeah.
Gotcha. It paid off, because a lot of folks are now just beginning to look at their PSM. Some are not even in the same mindset. So you have to be in a certain zone when you're doing this PSM, because it's 80 questions in 60 minutes. It's tough. And Mary has done the same, so she knows what we're talking about. So when you were studying, I know that Mary was very instrumental to having some initial sessions. How long did you keep up that dialogue between you and her about PMP? Was that something you did weekly, or was it just in the beginning?
We did it up until when we wanted to write the exam, and it was like twice a week for like 4 hours.
Wow.
Every time. Yeah.
So tell me how you organized those meetings. What were you guys doing?
So we basically started the same way, like the daily scrum. So we talked about what we did before, and then we had like topics that we would read, and then we would talk about it. And then Mary and Lara will ask us loads and loads of questions.
They'll grill you.
Yeah. And they always emphasize that we should read Agile. Yeah. So yeah. So this was how we went about it.
Wow. It's such a powerful connection that you folks established and have. And I just wonder how you gonna pay it forward. Who is next? Because Taiwo is, so who is next? Who are you mentoring? Who are you coaching? Who are you bringing up? You better find someone. Mary has done her part. Now you got to find someone and pay it forward. But that's really exciting. 4 hours, 4 hours a session.
Yeah.
Wow. So was that face to face? How did you coordinate those?
We had Zoom meetings all of the time. That was how we were able to handle it, because we all live in different parts of Germany. So yeah.
Gotcha. Wow. So the studying, the big finale before the battle in November, were you studying that stuff by knowledge area, process group, or were you studying by the immersion tasks? Just walk us through how you were doing that.
Okay, so first of all, I was studying by knowledge area, because that was the scariest part for me.
Yeah.
And then I was reading the book, and it was difficult. So I realized that, okay, watching the video was a lot easier, and then answering questions. And then after that, I started doing it by people, processes, and then business. So I studied the knowledge areas first before I started taking it to people, processes, and business.
Can you tell us why the knowledge areas were quite kind of hard? Because I know you've got like a people, is it HR kind of people background? So can you shed some more light on how you found those knowledge areas to be pesky? Was it that there were so many? Was it that it sounded technical? What was it?
I would say it was so many. So I was afraid of the fact that it was a lot. And yeah, the terminologies were quite new. So one of the tricks that I used was that I studied them first before learning the 49 processes by writing them accordingly. So when I familiarized myself with what they meant, it was easier for me to remember that, okay, after this is this, and then this is this. So that was how I was able to handle it.
Gotcha. And then obviously from those discussions you folks were having, I can imagine Mary grilling you on knowledge areas.
Yeah.
Oh my, wow. So the night before the exam, I'm sure that you took it easy. You didn't do anything too crazy. You took it easy and you got to the exam. So tell me, the Battle of November, when you finally got into the exam, how much of your test was agile? How much was hybrid? How much was predictive? Just rough guess.
I would say it was predictive, actually. It couldn't be more predictive than that. It was very
Oh my
predictive.
gosh. How
Yeah,
much?
yeah. It was very, very predictive. So I think I was very happy that I also read a lot of the knowledge areas. It was very predictive, yeah.
Wow. Would you say that the predictive aspect was up to 70% of the exam?
I would say maybe 90 or 95. That's what,
Wow.
yeah.
Oh my
Yeah.
goodness. You know, you're the second person I shared this. Taji also had a rather predictive exam. Wow. So Agile was very minute.
Yeah.
Like so would you give 5 to Agile and hybrid?
Maybe hybrid. I wouldn't really say agile. So if there was a question with the terminology Scrum Master, it was just 1 or 2. And I think it was even more tricky because then it was a hybrid question at the end of the, yeah.
Wow. So so Agile was almost non-existent.
Yes.
That is ridiculous.
Absolutely.
Oh my gosh. Wow. So maybe this is, I like doing these because it gives people context that you cannot put all your eggs into an Agile basket. You know, you might just be shocked. Like it's happened to a number of people that were not predictive minded and they just got a predictive exam and it was problematic. So this is very helpful. Now, I know they give a lot of scenarios and we're not going into details. We keep it all above board and high level, but talking about people, process, business, which area jumped out at you as having more kind of questions? Do you have more process questions or more business questions or more people questions?
I would say I had more process questions. The people questions were a lot, but not as much as the process questions.
Wow. Wow. That's good to know. So I'm guessing it's process, maybe people next. Did you have overtly businessy kind of questions that were talking about business case, benefits register, prioritization of the backlog?
I would say maybe 1 or 2 questions came out from there, but my questions were mainly on compliance.
Oh my.
So, yeah.
Isn't so Mary, remind me, take me back in our time machine. Your exam, what percentage was agile, or do you recall?
My questions were very agile. Yeah, my exam was hybrid, but in the hybrid, the amount of agile, I would say, was about probably 80% or so.
Wow, isn't it crazy? So they flipped it. They're like, we're sure she's giving you too much agile ideas. Let's see. Let's see how much predictive you know. Well, thank you for sharing that. Wow. Wow. It's very sobering to me because anytime I'm about to tell everyone it's all going to be agile, I'm always cautioned with updates like this. Let's talk about the pesky ITTOs. Now that you've done this test, what would you say to anyone who is obsessing over the ITTOs? Is it worthwhile, even though you had predictive stuff? Would you say that, yeah, the amount of time you should spend on ITTOs is excusable? I mean, what are your feelings?
I would say it's good to know them, but there were no questions on them. So
wow.
it would not be necessary to read them so intensively. This is what I would say. They were, because I read them a lot, actually. At some point, I could say this is what was going in and coming out, but
wow.
yeah, but none of it came out in the exam.
Oh my gosh. So what use, I mean, what did they use them as red herrings and as options?
No, actually. I did not. Maybe if there was something on ITTOs, or maybe just something that pop up in that regards, maybe not more than one, actually.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow. So most of it was like you're a project manager on a project, a stakeholder is finding a problem with what you delivered. What should you do next?
Yeah,
But
exactly.
not which tool and technique should you use to solve the problem. Not that.
Not at all. But
Wow.
I will add that there was just one or two questions that were directly like, you are in this process, what's the next one? Just one question. I was like, okay, they try to be kind now.
Just give you a little bit of a leeway, little a bonus.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh. Wow.
Yeah.
This exam is something else, man. It's something else. What about the knowledge areas? What advice do you have on top of what we've already discussed, like the sessions Mary and Lara had with you? Any other advice?
What I would say is that, again, they are good to know, but I would say focus more on reading the Immersion book. This is the most important thing to pass the exam. This is what I would say, actually, from my own experience. Yes, so the questions, you will find the knowledge areas and points from there, but there will be more of situational questions that you probably did not need to have read and known every of the knowledge area, actually.
Wow.
Yeah.
That is absolutely crazy. So for those folks who don't know about the Immersion book, you can go on down to the Praizion website, praizion.com, and look for the download. You can get a PDF download of it, but if you're a hard copy kind of a person, you might want to go down to the Amazon site and you can grab it on Amazon. But the way Roy and I attack the information in the book is really more hybrid than anything, to help you shift your perspectives between the world of Agile, the world of predictive. So the knowledge areas, you eventually got pretty good with them. Wow, to the point that you knew where everything was. And when you got into the exam and you saw the first question, how did you feel about that?
When I saw the first question, it was situational, but it had like two possible answers that were correct. So the first 10 questions, I would say, were just to throw me off balance. And then, yeah, after some time, I became more familiar with the pattern of the questions, and yeah, it was a smooth sail.
So what was the timing like? Because we talk about time management on the exam. So I normally recommend the first 60, spend 75 minutes, the next 60, another 75 minutes, and the last one, another 75. So in that way, you could have maybe like 5 minutes in your bank to use as you will. So did you follow that kind of model? Were you looking at the time a whole lot? Did you take breaks? Tell us.
So what I did was that I followed it. So I knew that for every 60 question, I should make sure that I have 75 minutes with them. I wasn't really particular about like answering each question in 1 minute. Because some questions were more difficult and they required more time. And so, but I just made sure that at the end, I should have answered 60 questions within 75 minutes. And for the ones that I flagged, I used the remaining 5 minutes to go through them.
Gotcha. Wow, good stuff. So if anyone is being kind of mentored by you and they ask you, what do you think I should do first when tackling this exam? What would your process be to tackle the PMP exam for someone who's just learning about it? Give us a step-by-step idea.
I would say to learn Agile first, and then to answer questions. So what I did was for every level, I was answering questions immediately so that I know that I really had a hang of it. And then predictive next, because most of the time we're afraid of the big book and we want to do predictive first. So I would say learn Agile first, answer questions, because sometimes when you read, you understand, but then the questions, you see that, okay, it shows your balance. And yeah, it makes you have a real good grip about what you're studying. And then the next step will be to learn it from people, then to processes and business. This was how I went about my own.
Gotcha. Got it. Okay. Good. And then as far as your process, I know you took those mock exams seriously, because as I'm going in there to look at people's scores, I was always seeing that you had either taken a mock exam or you had done a quiz. So you really did take those very seriously. So I'll just add, take the mocks. And then I'll also add one more thing you shared, which is discussions. I think those discussions you had with Mary and Lara really did a great job in getting you to overcome the knowledge area. So now that you're certified, how do you feel about the knowledge areas, the practicality? Do you look back and ask yourself, why didn't I get this at first? Or do you look back and say, no wonder I didn't get it. There's no way I could have gotten it without going for the journey. What are your musings and your thoughts about knowledge areas now you look back?
I'm not sure that I understood your question.
So when you came in, it was very hard. Have you ever asked yourself, now that you're a PMP, why did I find this difficult? The knowledge areas. Have you thought about that? Do you know why you found them difficult now?
Yes, actually. So I wouldn't say that they are as difficult. I think maybe it's just the fear of just not knowing what to expect. So this is what gets in the way, really. So I would just say that if you watch the videos before reading the book, this will be very helpful. At least it was very helpful for me. So it took away all the fears and I felt more confident in going for the exam.
Gotcha. What can I do as a trainer? You give me some advice now. What can I do to make this whole experience easier for someone coming in newly?
I would say you are actually doing everything right. So you are you're a very good mentor. So I will start from there. I don't know if I would have been able to go through this journey without you. So I also have to put that there. And then again, I cannot overemphasize the importance of the learning platform. This was what really helped me. This was my major source of learning source. So yeah, this is what I would say.
Thank you. I think I can do better. Maybe if you get any ideas of simple projects I could use as examples, just let me know. So what is your next step now that you're PMP and you're certified, you got the badge of honor? What's the next big thing? Is Mary whispering in your ear to do certain things? Is she telling you to make a move? No, you don't have to say it on TV. We'll talk about that later. But let's go back to the story of the PMP. So the first 60 minutes versus the last 60, which one was harder? Would you say the first or the last?
I would say the first one. So at the end, I was already feeling like, okay, we're getting to the end. So it was more relaxed. And again, I would say it's also good to take those 10-minute breaks. They are very, very helpful. Yeah.
That's good advice. So did you take a big pause and say your last prayers before you hit the button at the end? Or did you just, I got this? You didn't delay. I delayed when I hit that button. Were you very confident that you had killed it?
I delayed actually because I actually finished like 15 minutes before the time.
Oh,
And
wow.
then, yeah, I just sat down there for 15 minutes. I was like, okay, let me enjoy this 15 minutes of some peace.
And you took
Yeah.
both breaks, so you managed the time really well to have had that at the end. And look at it.
Yeah.
Look at it. Wow. Well, I applaud you. I am excited. I'm very proud. As far as these knowledge areas are concerned, are there any particular ones that jump out? I know you talked about compliance being kind of heavy when it comes to the business area, but in the grand scheme of the exam, do any of these jump out at you?
Yeah, I would say resources, communication, stakeholder integration was there as well. And I think a bit of costs. This were like the major ones that came out more.
Gotcha. Were there any formulas that threw you off, or did they even appear at all, formulas?
No, there was nothing like that. And to think that I spent a lot of hours, trying to, yeah, but
Maybe
none of
that's
it came
something.
out.
Yeah. Do you think that's something I should maybe edit out of, because I tried not to give you too much, but I think if you go into the LMS, there's a lot that you could get sucked into with formulas. Maybe that needs to be tailored down.
I wouldn't say that, because I think it's good to know knowledge, because it could also be that since the exam is changing and we don't know when it's predictive or agile, I think it's good that it stays there.
Okay.
Yeah.
Thanks for that advice. Awesome. So for anyone that has questions, when we're watching this video in the future, you can feel free to put a comment below and our friend will answer whenever she's able. And I want to say a massive thank you to both of you, because right now it's pretty late night. And this is a labor of love, doing this at almost 10 p.m. your time in Germany there. So thank you very much. Mary,
Thank you, Phil.
Oh, thank you. Mary, any comments for our friends? You want to give her any sage advice? How many months do you have on her as a PMP? Is it 8 months?
You mean how long we've been talking?
Yeah, no, how long have you been a PMP more than she has? She got certified in November, so you're her big sister in PMP by 8 months, 9 months?
Yes.
What advice?
I got mine in January. Okay,
Oh,
so what advice is, now you are a professional project manager and also an agilist. So I would say run with it. Don't let the work that you've put in to be lost on you. You have to practice it. Don't sleep on it. And also, carry yourself like a professional, because you are a professional now.
Woo! I love it. Thank you, Mary. That's some pretty strong gold you dropped there. I hope other PMPs pick it up, and I'm so proud of you. I'm so excited, so happy. Thank you so much. I'm not going to get emotional because it's a journey. When you see people on the journey in the beginning, even for Mary, it was tough in the beginning, Mary. Let's be honest. Mary went through the home period of going through, it's tough, and then she got certified, and see how she has helped so many other people come on the journey. So I'm really proud of both of you. Well done. And take her advice. Take her advice to heart. That is real solid advice. All right.
Yes, I will.
Okay. Any words for the people who are out there either trying to get certified and they feel that this is too difficult, I'm not going to do it? Fome, you want to say one last word to them?
I would say just be consistent. It might be difficult in the beginning, but I mean, like, if this is what you want to achieve, just keep pushing and listen to everything that Phil says. If he says read page 89, read page 89. Yeah.
Thank you.
So this is, I think that's the most important part, because many people might want to read other or take advices from other tutors, but I think that once you just follow the mock exams that you offer us, and then the videos again, yes, you are good to go.
Thank you. Thank you so much. Appreciate both of you. Everyone listening, thank you, and talk to you soon.